Hi everyone, Darren here, Fitness Director of the San Luis Obispo Country Club. Today we're on the floor. What I'd like to introduce you to today is some hip mobility and stability exercises. These are great for everybody. Golf, tennis, cyclists, anybody who's starting to feel that hip mobility starting to get reduced or starting to feel that tightness in the hips, tightness in the lower back. These even help prevent some of the pain we get in our knees because our hips are a key mobilizer. And when they're not mobile, our knee joint tends to take it or our lower back. So today, I'd like to introduce you to a whole series of hip mobility movements that I use in my sports stretch class. All right. So what we're going to do is on the floor. If you have a hard floor, a cement floor or hardwood, an exercise mat would be ideal. If you don't, a carpeted area is just as great. All right. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to lie on our side. So you're going to stack your hips, stack your knees, stack your feet. You're going to take your arm, you're going to kind of bolster your head. If you've got a pillow or a bolster, that's great. But if not, bicep works perfect. Okay, so on our side, you're going to take we're on my left side, so we're going to take our right hand, lock our hip in place. And what we don't want to do is let that hip move, that lower back move when we do this. Okay, feet are together. You're going to lift, this is called the clamshell. You're going to lift that right knee up as high as you can, back down, up as high as you can. And so you're just trying to open up as high as you can without that hip pulling away. And that's what this top hand's doing. It's securing that hip, that pelvic bone. So again, the index finger is on the front part of the pelvis, thumb is right behind. You've got it locked in place. And now you're isolating that movement just in that hip joint. You should feel it right deep, right inside that hip joint. All right, so we're gonna do 12 to 15 of these. As you start to feel it heat up, you know you got it right, okay? So then we squeeze our knees together. Again, keeping that hand in place. You're gonna lift that foot up as high as you can, back down. Everybody's got different mobilities on this one. This one might be a little tighter. This is where I'm tight. Up as high as you can and back down. So this is the reverse clamshell. And again, just going through that movement. Don't let that hip move. Don't let the lower back move. Keep this secure. High as you can, back down. And again, 12 to 15. Hips starting to work a little bit. And again, try to keep it deep in that hip joint. All right, so now we're going to do our single leg bicycle. So now you're coming around and you're making a circle like you're pedaling a bike. So you're just coming down, around. Not too big, okay? You want to keep it about a 6 to 12 inch circle of that ankle. And this is really starting to heat up right inside the joint. In movement, around. And again, 12 to 15. And now we're going to do our lateral raise. All right, so that last one, you're going to extend the top leg straight down, and we want to bring it back. Now, we don't want the old-fashioned Jane Fonda move of how high you can kick, okay? I want that foot staying parallel to the floor and the foot pointed straight out, all right? And now, can you extend that leg back slightly so you feel a stretch not only here, but in that hip flexor area? And then you're going to come up laterally as high as you can. Feel it kind of squeezing that glute muscle. Back down, up and down. And again, 12 to 15 of these. It should be really starting to heat up deep in that hip joint. Getting that squeeze, lift. That's it. And 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so now we're going to grab that heel. You're going to pull back, and you're trying to lift up, so you're trying to get a quad stretch, but you're trying to get a hip flexor stretch. So I want that knee not only go down, but back slightly. And you just kind of give yourself a little bit of a pull, a little bit of a stretch. All right, we're just going to hold this. And it's like a hold for about 20 to 30 seconds, just to let that muscle release, okay? Make sure you can breathe while you're doing this. Inhale, exhale. Now, if it feels too hard, you can always just grab the heel. If you can really pull on it, reach down, grab the instep, or grab the top of the front of the foot. Okay? And then we're going to take this knee and point it up to the ceiling. Basically, this foot goes right behind the left knee. You're going to bring that left foot out, about a 45-degree angle now, and we're going to come up and back down, up, back down. Again, keeping that foot parallel to the floor, trying to get a squeeze in that inner thigh. All right? Three more. 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. Okay, so now you're going to lie on your back. Right knee stays bent. Left leg is straight. Okay, now you're going to lift that left leg so your knees are parallel. All right, arms are going to be across the chest. If you need to, you can put your hands at your sides, but I like to really work on all that core stability that this one's going to offer. Plus, you're really going to drive with your hips. So arms crossed if you can. Hands up here if you feel unstable. But what you're going to do is you're going to lift the hip up as high as you can and come back down. If you feel that hamstring, the back of the leg, kind of grab like you're going to have a Charlie horse. Remember again, push off that heel of that foot so you can squeeze that glute muscle. Okay, you lift as high as you can, back down. High as you can, back down. High as you can. 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep going. 7, 8, 9, 10. 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so that was just that side. So then what we do is we switch over, and then we do it on, get on our right side, lie down, and do all the same exercises, but on the left side. Again, it was the clamshell, reverse clamshell, bicycle, then we did a lateral raise, a quad hip flexor stretch, and we finished it off with that hip lift. These are all great exercises to do. The key is to do them in the sequence we just did. Now, if you really want to get a little bit more on the endurance side, do the right side, flip over, do the left, and do a second set of each. Trust me, you will feel your hips working, and it's, again, a great way to condition that lower body. All right? Hey, stay safe out there. We'll see you next time.